not with solid food, because you weren't ready for anything stronger, and you still aren't ready.
I don't understand when people read the Bible. It's so
What's up
fucking
with
weird.
But on TikTok as well, like Chandler did this, and
Chandler
now
does
Russell
it,
Brand
yeah.
is this new genre of what the.
I think. Yeah, getting into more serious and beautiful news. Russell Brand's a Christian now.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he was always some form of a religious
Spiritual.
man. He
But
just didn't.
Was he? I feel like he moved into spirituality. It was a step by step. I think at a certain point he was just like a regular atheist.
I mean, for some reason, I liked him quite a lot when I was a child. And I remember he was like kind of an atheist, but he had these religious, religious understanding of the universe. Didn't say that there was a strict God or anything, but kind of thought there was something bigger than him, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, I honestly like, I mean, we'll get into his sexual allegations later. This is before we knew about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought like when he did like a podcast with Sam Harris
Yeah.
and demolished him. Sam Harris is such an imbecile.
He was
doing
actually
this-
a good speaker.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't listened to him recently. But
No. But, you know, he had this like critical, like, you know, very much against Western foreign policy, against capitalism, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was kind of great. And then, but I mean, also it's funny after Me Too and stuff is that like you're given a more critical lens into like these kinds of characters specifically, because all this come up about him about like crazy sexual allegations. And it's kind of just like, you look back at his whole character and you're like, yeah, actually, wait, that should have been obvious.
Yeah.
He was just kind of like a freaky kind of style character.
Oh, of course.
And he'd do it like live. He'd do it on air. He'd make women really uncomfortable in like who were interviewing him. You know, he'd always talk about trying to film and stuff, and it was like, you know. But yeah, I think it's a good pipeline. Is that you you know,
But
you
makes
get accused of raping people, and then you're a Christian.
Yeah, but also it makes sense that he's a Christian just in terms of being a recovering drug addict and the 12-step program, which kind of is based around faith.
Yeah.
I think one of the 5th steps or something is just like having this understanding that there's an, what's it called? Omnipotent being that looks after you and controls your life, which I think he kind of believes. But who's he?
That's Tucker Carlson.
That's Tucker Carlson.
Yeah. Yeah, he really up.
A greater power, yeah.
Yeah, he's such a loser. I guess, yeah, Christianity's a new cool thing. It also made me think, like, I think cancel culture's done. It doesn't exist anymore. Like, is it actually real anymore?
Or you mean the fact that what were the rape charges?
I mean, it's a whole long thing, but yeah, he's like multiple people coming about.
Yeah.
About.
Well, I think that cancel culture's not done in that, like, if the rape charges are confirmed by the police, obviously he goes to prison.
Yeah.
So that's the highest form of being cancelled.
Cancellation, yeah.
So it's like,
well, if you're rich enough and you can, like, you know,
get good enough lawyers,
and yeah, make it last for as long as possible in court. But also, I think you're uncancelable if you have the right, and that's part of this pivot as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like the right wing, you know, they laugh as pedophile hunters. They're serious about like sex and, you know, being pure and stuff, but like they don't actually care about any of this stuff. Like this is where you go if you're in trouble for raping people.
Yeah. So sad. Did we know what kind of Christian he is?
I don't know. We'll find out.
I should not scroll.
Yeah, don't scroll.
Don't scroll.
I found
Twitter.
this clip so funny because, like, look, maybe I'm giving him too much credit because he is just an imbecile and a rapist. But like, when you look at his face here, for his interaction, he looks like he's, you know, that like it's like a, what do you call it? Like an out of body experience. He's just like, how did I get here? Like, he's suddenly next to these like Tucker Carlson, all these conservatives, when he was meant to be like a, you know, bad boy heroin addict.
Cool.
Like, listen to this. Look at his face.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. This is amazing. I love that.
You say that, but they all kind of have that
No, but look at
vague. He does look
He
a
just
bit.
is like freezing up, being like, I'm shaking the hand of this man with a cowboy hat.
Where am I?
I mean, maybe he's just high. No, you're completely right.
I think he's
relapsed.
I think he's a sober guy. Are you saying he's relapsed?
No, that's what this guy says. He's just high. Rob Schneider.
Is that Rob Schneider?
That's so funny because he was. I mean,
He got cancelled, didn't he?
did he get cancelled for being a rapist? Because I think his shows, like all the jokes were that he was a rapist. You know, he was like the creepy guy who loves touching women. That was his like one joke.
That's.
Yeah,
Oh.
they've really built up the dream team.
Can I search what kind of Christian?
Okay, wait. I want to see if my next article is about him being Christian. No.
It's about your go-to all-weather boots.
Very, very good. Okay.
Russell Brand Christian.
I mean, surely he'd have to be Orthodox. His first month as a Christian speaks on 3 months. Do you want first month, 1 month, or 3 months?
Oh, let's go 3 months. That's a good time to try out Christianity to see if he likes it or not.
And podcast host Russell Brand recently reflected on 3 months since converting to Christianity and the challenge of feeling like Jesus Christ is far away. I've been a Christian now for 3 months. He began in a TikTok video posted this week.
Sometimes I find it quite...
Why don't we listen to him? Where are you? Okay, Russell.
I've been a Christian now for 3 months. Sometimes I find it quite difficult. What I mean by that is I feel like Christ is far away. I don't feel like the intimate connection with Christ. Today I've decided to read this from...
Blimey, I'm by Jesus, isn't it?
He does look so much like Jesus as well in terms of... Oh, he's always...
Chapter 1, verse 3. It's a letter. And what I like about it is how Paul writes to the Corinthians like they're right bloody idiots. Have a listen. Dear brothers and sisters, when I was with you, I couldn't talk to you as I would to spiritual people. I had to talk as though you belonged to this world, as though you were infants in Christ. I had to feed you with milk, not with solid food, because you weren't ready for anything stronger, and you still aren't ready.
I don't understand when people read the Bible. It's so
what's up
fucking
with
weird.
But on TikTok as well, like Chandler did this, and now Russell Brand is this new genre of... What the...
I think it's the best grift because you only have to read one book. Imagine that. We're picking up thousands of news articles every morning.
Oh.
Imagine we sat before we streamed, we just picked up one single book and clicked to a page and said we're reading this today.
And it's been around for so long that you reread it again and you're like, oh, actually, no, they're saying something different here. It's like, no.
We don't even have to say
Shut
different.
up.
But
Yeah.
that's amazing. It's just like, it's really like the min-maxing reading for people.
Yeah.
And the fact that like, you know, thousands of people are doing it every single week, like all these priests reading this book to you. It's like you could plagiarize everyone's sermons as much as you
PP
want.
Poopy said more books than Alex has read. I've read the Bible.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Was it good? It was good, didn't it?
It was real good in it.
Okay. Well, he's a Christian now. I don't even know what kind of Christian. Oh yeah, okay, now back to Tucker Carlson. But first, let's
Do your little...
a little movie
These guys give us a sponsorship.
archive. I don't know what you're talking about.